welcome or welcome back to this channel. We are live. So we are live, and today, as you can see, we're going to discuss that how manipulative, vulnerable narcissist behaves. So we're going to discuss this, and kindly excuse me today if you hear lots of noise in the background. We cannot help it with this noise. So yeah, today we're going to discuss that how a manipulative, vulnerable narcissist describe. We're going to describe all their traits, and how a vulnerable narcissist behaves, and I'll try to give a simple and grounded explanation. And you know what? A vulnerable narcissist looks insecure, hurt, and shy or misunderstood, but still believes they are special and deserve extra care. You know what? I've observed that some narcissistic people, whenever they want to show as if they are very kind, they are very vulnerable, they show this side to people where they know that it will work in their favor. So it's not that all the narcissists are vulnerable narcissists, but every narcissist use this side, but they are not naturally like that. Okay, they use it as in a manipulative way. Okay, so they still believe that they are special, and they deserve extra care. They don't although we have lots of sounds in the background, so I'm trying to keep myself very near to the speaker of this phone so that I'm audible. I can't see anyone live today, and as soon as I see you live, I'll ask that if I'm audible or not. So for now, I'm just thinking to continue like that only. And it's so cool here. I can see one person there. Let me know in the chat box that if I'm audible. Yeah. Let me know if I'm audible. Let me know in the chat box if I'm audible. Hi. Hello everyone. Welcome or welcome back to this channel. Please let me know if I'm audible. Okay. Thanks so much. Thank you so much for telling me that we are audible, and please share your views, your opinions about regarding the topic today. So all of your opinions and your whatever you write in the chat box, your opinions, your viewpoints regarding to the topic today, are all of your views and opinions are really valuable for me, and it helped me move forward nicely with the video and the topic, so I can pick all of your topics, all of your comments in the chat box if it is related to the video, to today's video. So as we are going to discuss that how a manipulative, vulnerable narcissist function, they think that they are special and they deserve extra care. They don't brag loudly like other narcissistic, like especially covert narcissist. And as in the starting of the video, I was sharing that every narcissist use this as a manipulative thing to being vulnerable when they know that by this way they can manipulate other people. So they use this. They don't brag loudly, instead, they gain control through guilt, sadness, and emotional pressure. They often say or act like no one understands me, like I suffer, or they'll say I always give more than others. I'm so sensitive, people hurt me easily. They feel superior inside but act like a victim outside. And do you know what? A very thin line here, because people who are victims, who are the actual victim and survivors of narcissism, are also been through and also feels the same, but they never keep bragging about it or keep saying these things. But a narcissist, although they never been through any of these, but still they'll say that no one understands me, I suffer, I always give more than others, I'm so sensitive, people hurt me easily, blah blah. They feel superior inside but act like victim outside, okay, just to manipulate other people. Because vulnerability also used by a narcissist people as a manipulative technique. So they don't get vulnerable easily, they don't know this, because when you're vulnerable you expose your those parts which are very soft, gentle, or you're not very comfortable sharing those parts with every other person, okay. And yeah, so as we are discussing today that how a narcissistic people use vulnerability as manipulation. So this is the topic of today's video, and little disclaimer before moving ahead with this topic today, that whatever I share on my channel through my live videos or otherwise also are my personal experiences, and I just express here to spread awareness. And all of things are my personal research work, so kindly take my videos like that. And I'm not suggesting or teaching anything here, I'm just sharing my part. And yeah, let's move forward. So do you know what, how manipulation usually looks with the simple looks when a narcissistic people wants to behave like one. They playing the victim card, okay. They make us feel sorry for them, so we ignore our own needs. For example, do you know what? After everything I've been through, how can you say no to me? So it's a manipulation here, okay? You can share whatever you want to, but you cannot manipulate other person to do or to force someone to do something for you. So what's happening here, our guilt is used to control our choice. I'll take all of your comments. Let me see. What's the topic? Topic is there only. Govind. Yeah. How are you? I'm good. Thank you. Thank you so much for asking. Govind told me we can hear you. Thank you so much for telling me this. I think you need to rotate the camera. No, purposely I keep the camera like this. Why? Because it's easy for me to come live like this on live videos, because the main purpose here is to share topic and to interact with you all and to take your live comments and to put out a beautiful or informative or topic related to any awareness related to narcissism, sociopath, or anything, so that we can discuss things and on live videos. Why I don't show my complete face here? Why? Because sometimes I feel I because I'm not very comfortable, to be very frank, and I see here and there. Sometimes I think a lot, and to be very frank, till now 700 plus videos are there, but till now I haven't learned this, like where to see. My main purpose is here just to share topics, spread awareness, and bring out content, all because I have lots of data in my head. So I just try to be here and share awareness, and I feel that it may help someone. And yeah, and sometimes I really get teary eyes, so I don't want to be over here in front of the camera. So the main purpose is just to share information. So I hope you can I gave you answer. And what else? Yeah, most of my videos are in Hindi, and the nature and the language of my channel is in Hindi and English, but there are few topics I'm not very comfortable sharing those topics in Hindi for now, so I share only few topics in English, and I try to come up with a very simple, grounded English, which is easy to understand. Why I'm not comfortable? Why? Maybe I'll be very comfortable very soon with all the topics, and I'll come here with these topics. I'll also bring up in Hindi someday, very soon. And yeah, for today, I feel I've taken your comments. What is the topic? Topic is there only. What topic you are discussing now? I'm discussing over uh, manipulative, vulnerable narcissist. That how vulnerability used by a narcissist as a manipulative technique. So this is the topic for today, and how manipulation usually looks when it used by a narcissistic person. So they guilt trip us to and force us to do certain things for them. How they guilt tripping us, they make us feel like bad people for having limits. Okay, and for having limits. For example, if uh, if you really cared about me, you wouldn't do this. So it's a manipulative thing. Okay, this is a manipulative thing, but they use it as a vulnerability. And what's happening here, love turned into a test that we must pass. So they bring us, to all of it. They guilt tripped us, and after that they also may give us silent punishment. Instead of talking, they withdraw affection to make us anxious, more anxious. For example, they stop replying or act cold until we apologize, even when we did nothing wrong. Okay, even when we did nothing wrong. And what's happening here, silence becomes a weapon. So they use this vulnerability also as a weapon, as a manipulative technique. And subtle blame shifting they used to do, they never fully take responsibility. For example, I only reacted that way because you upset me, and because you upset me, so that's why I behave in a certain way. So guys, this is manipulation. Okay, understand this is manipulation. And what's happening here, their behavior becomes our fault. Okay, so we need to understand, I'm giving an example that this is the way they say and they portray and they project their things on us. And we need to understand here, guys, that as Dr. Ramni also says and quotes so many times, that we need to understand this, that all the narcissists, they have the very very similar patterns. So whatever I share here, and if I'm using any examples, so they use very similar things. Okay, as I just gave an example of that if they say, I only reacted that way because you upset me. So many narcissistic parents, caregivers, narcissistic romantic partners, or any other narcissistic person you are with, you know they say these things, they say these sentences. And what does that mean? Their behavior becomes our fault. If they're behaving in a certain way, so it means they're behaving in a certain way just because of us. And which is not true. We are adults, we can control our behavior, we know that where and how we should behave. So we cannot portray it to other people like that. So it's a manipulative thing. And they use vulnerability as manipulation also. So as today we are discussing that how they use vulnerability as a manipulation. Okay, they also uh, trap us by emotional dependence. And how a narcissistic people used to do this, they make us feel like we are the only one who can help them. Okay, and for example, if if you leave if we leave, I don't know what I'll do. Here I'm remembering a incident with me, that this person used to say that anyways, leave it for today, I'm not going to discuss this. So do you know what this happens? This happens, that's why I don't come with the complete face on the live videos. Why? Because whenever I share on some particular topic, so uh, lots of what do we lots of incidents and situations used to come up as we move forward with the topic. So they say that if you leave, I don't know what I'll do. And it's a manipulation, it's a complete lie, because otherwise they don't behave in loving or caring way. So why they have no right to say such things? But they do it, and they play with our minds, our emotions, with these kind of sentences. And what's happening here, we feel responsible for their emotional survival. We feel that they care, that they miss, and they really feel for us, but it's a lie. It's a complete lie. Okay, and just because they are sharing all these sentences, so we believe and we feel that we are responsible for their emotional survival. And the next, do you know what? How we can become aware of all these red flags and whatever they're sharing with us? We should pause and reflect. We should pause and reflect back to their actions. We often feel guilty with knowing why. So we should know our why. We should know why they're saying such things. They're they're not walking their talk. Okay, a narcissistic person, they never walk their talk. So we should know this. We should pause. Okay, we walk on eggshells to avoid upsetting them, and which is not right. We also need to work on our patterns, and with this channel, with this community we are building each day, I believe, I feel, and I pray, and I'm working towards it, that I try to spread awareness here, and all of we are here to spread awareness and to help each other. But we need to take all the responsibilities in our own hands, okay? Why? Because we can get aware, we can have wisdom, we can learn things, but we need to change things. We cannot wait a narcissistic person to change. Okay, we cannot wait them to change because they don't do it actually. Like done. Thank you so much. Hello Didi, how are you? I'm good, brother. I'm good. Thank you for asking. So nice. It's so good to see people on this channel who keep coming back. I'm so grateful about it. I love you. So let's move forward. Our needs are always postponed, so we need to pay attention there. We feel drained, confused, or emotionally tired after interactions. Apologize mostly go one way, okay? Sometimes, we realize this with narcissistic people that don't know what they do. They sometimes, just to manipulate us, they create a situation, a chaotic situation, and then because we are peacemakers, what we do, we ask for forgiveness, and later on we realize that there was nothing we asked for forgiveness or we said sorry. It just they created the chaos and everything, and at the end we are saying the sorry and we are apologizing just so that there is so that we can keep the peace and they can mellow down a bit. They can mm, they don't create such chaos. So that's why we do it. So we feel really drained, confused, and emotionally tired with interactions with narcissistic people. We apologize mostly, and it go one way. They're never gonna take accountability of their behavior. Awareness starts when we notice patterns, not just single moments. We need to notice their patterns. We need to see their actions, what they're doing. Otherwise, we should not just simply go and believe their words, because a narcissistic person, they never walk their talk. Okay, how here we can protect ourselves. So we're going to discuss few very important points here. So we trust our feelings. We should start learning trusting our feelings. If we feel pressured, guilty, or small, that feeling matters. This feeling matters, even if they deny it. If ever with the narcissistic person, we are feeling pressured, we are feeling any kind of guilty or small, because they make us feel this way, okay? So that feeling matters, okay? Even though if a narcissistic person or flying monkeys around are saying that it's not a big deal, but no, it is a big deal, okay? Your feelings matter, even if they deny it. So we need to take a pause here. We need to learn to take pause. We need to be authentic to our own self. We stop over explaining. Manipulators use explanations as openings. Okay, it's so powerful. Okay, they use it as another conversation instead of, I'm sorry, I just feel overwhelmed. because we say, I'm not comfortable with this, I can't do this or that. So we keep it short, calm, and clear. But a narcissistic person, they function very differently, okay? For them, if you're going to explain your situation and things, they're going to turn and twist it and manipulate it. In the end, you'll feel very drained and hopeless. So just try to be keep your sentences, your things, your explanations short, crisp, calm, and clear with them. And you should be very, very comfortable. We need to learn to set boundaries and keep them. It's very important to set boundaries and also need to learn how to keep our boundaries. Okay. Boundaries are not punishments. I always will discuss this thing, okay? They are self respect, and these are very, very important if we are sharing a shelter or a roof with the narcissistic people. Otherwise, also, we need to keep it with the narcissistic people. Otherwise, they make our life hell. For example, I'm happy to talk, but not when I'm being blamed. You can say, like, I can talk to you, but if you disrespect me, so I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna keep up with the today's discussion. I'm not comfortable. So these kind of sentences we can use with the narcissistic people. If they push back, we remember a boundary that makes someone angry was needed. Next is we don't try to fix them. We no need to fix them. Why? Because they know how to do everything, okay? We don't try to fix them. Their pain is real, but it is not our job to heal them, because it's my own personal experiences. I always try to rescue, try to help them, guide them with all the beautiful things and gestures I I had, for them. But they always turn and twist your reality, your beautiful things. So try not to do it. With narcissistic people, if you're going to support them, it's equals to self-sacrifice. You need to sacrifice your life to support them, and it's not healthy. It's not a healthy dynamic, because they don't want help, they don't want support, they want to manipulate you, they want to see you as a miserable person, they want to make you feel small, and they want to make you feel more and more miserable. This is the only agenda of narcissistic people have. That's why they use all these beautiful gestures like vulnerability. Also, they use it as manipulative techniques. So we watch actions, not words. And as we know, as we already have discussed that they never walk their talk. They may say, that I'm sorry, I'll change, I'm working on the self. But we need to look for consistent behavior, respect for limits, and accountability. We need to see all of it. And no change is equal to information. We need to see if they're consistent with their behavior and respect and take accountability. It's very difficult with the narcissistic people to keep up with the accountability, consistency, and to respect other people's boundaries. It's very, very difficult for them. So here, our role is to protect us and to learn things and to get aware about all of it. We give ourselves permission to step back. Distance is not cruelty. Distance, taking pause, is important for healing and to figure out the actual situation. Sometimes it is self protection. So, here we need to learn that few of the grounding techniques and reminders. We need to learn that we are not selfish for having needs. We are not unkind for saying no. We are not responsible for someone else's emotional regulation, especially when there is a relationship which is very transactional or humiliating or toxic, especially in that case. Healthy relationships feel safe, not heavy. If guys, if you want me to discuss further on this particular topic, you can comment below right now, or you can comment on this particular video in the future also whenever you're gonna watch this particular video. If you want another explanation or more information awareness regarding to this topic, okay. And we can also talk someday about practicing boundaries and sentences to learn to keep boundaries with narcissistic people, because it's very important, for us survivors to learn all these things. And so this was the topic today, guys. We discuss about vulnerable narcissistic person who use vulnerability as a manipulative technique. So I hope this video gonna help all of us. And yeah, I came after 2 days just because here it's huge noise in my background now, but still I feel I'm audible and you can figure it out like whatever I'm saying. So guys, if you are desire to talk to me on similar topics, or if you are willing to book one-on-one session with me, if you feel I can help you on your healing journey, if you want to share your stories, things with another survivor, that comfort also you can have with me. If you book, if you want to book one-on-one session with me, how to book one-on-one session with me, you can simply write a mail to me, or you can personally DM me on my Instagram account, on my IG. My IG is also with the name AbhayaTra, and my email ID and the name of my IG handle I'll provide you in the description box below as well. For now, I just desire to convey that I have so much compassion and kindness in my heart towards each one of you hearing me out right now, and I pray for your recovery and healing. Guys, listen, listen to me, okay? Don't ever think that you are alone on this healing journey, okay? I was there. I know how it feels. Look, we have this beautiful community here, and we are growing each day, building brick by brick. I'm here to hear you out, okay? Like us, we have many victims, other survivors who are going through similar kind of situations and still choosing the path of healing. we we just need to focus on ourselves. We need to learn, practice, break trauma bonds, and look forward. Believe me, guys, because you are the only one who can bring these beautiful changes and can achieve growth, success, and healing. while being authentic and empathetic. I believe in all of you beautiful people out there. We just need to choose and take the responsibility of healing in our own hands. That's it. With this beautiful note, I'm signing off today. Let me take other comments if we have any comments here. Okay, so these were the only comments in the chat box I've taken earlier. So I'll see you very, very soon in my next video. Till then, take very good care of yourself, keep on learning, and see you very, very soon in my next video. And just try to help someone and keep on learning. Love and peace.